Hey everybody, I'm here with Jordan Allen. Look at this shirt. Look at that. Phoenix. So what's happening in Phoenix, my friend? Tell me about Phoenix. What's happening in Phoenix?
It's a lot happening in Phoenix. It's fastest. Maricopa County is the fastest growing county in the United States.
And because you live there or what?
No, I don't live there. I have a place up in the mountains.
Tell everybody about the place you have in the mountains.
I've got a couple mountain places.
Well, tell us about the place you have in the mountains.
I have one place on Mount Charleston up here outside of Vegas.
Here in Las Vegas, we're at my favorite
up in
cigar.
the forest up there where we got mountain lions and fox and deer and all that. That's 45 minutes from the Strip.
From the Strip. I've been up there before.
And then I've got a place that Al hasn't been at. He's going to maybe come up and visit for his birthday. I won't say which one, all right? Because he looks much younger than he is. But I've got a place in Jerome, Arizona, which is an old ghost town up in the mountains of Arizona, about 2 hours north of Phoenix.
Okay.
But personally, what happened here with the sweatshirt, is I think I probably spilled something on my shirt and needed a shirt, and so I went and got a sweatshirt and it said Phoenix on it.
Guys, you're talking to the top 1% of the 1%. So tell us, you also have a place here in Vegas on the Strip, don't you?
I do.
Tell us about that a little bit. What is that?
At the Waldorf. It's
the Waldorf.
Waldorf at a condo, right on the Vegas Strip between the Park MGM, which used to be the Monte Carlo, and Crystal's Mall. By the way, I heard that Crystal's Mall is the most expensive mall in the United States. That's right on the Vegas Strip.
Well, we're here at one of my favorite cigar places here in Las Vegas, and middle of the afternoon. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, where most people are working, but we're out here enjoying ourselves because we talk about something you could do to go build your network and marketing business. You know, he's the author of Beach Money. There he is there. Yep. His second book, Better Than Beach Money, and my dear friend, one of the 18 millionaires I talk about. But so now you have 3 homes you live between. Is that correct?
That's right.
Wow. How did that come about? Tell us about that story.
No, I just enjoy different parts of I just enjoy different places, and so I just wanted to have multiple places. And
so wait a minute, whoa. You decided one of your goals was to have multiple places to live in?
Yeah.
You mean you could actually do that?
They're not Airbnbs.
Well, they're not Airbnb, but you decided you wanted 3 different places. How did you come upon wanting to live up in Jerome?
I was in Chicago,
way up on this mountain. Was the only place. Yeah.
So when I was in my early 20s, I moved to Phoenix with a guitar, $250 in a suitcase in 1981, and I was living. I had no money. I bought a little $200 motorcycle, and I was working odd jobs here and there, just trying to make enough money to pay my bills. I had one credit card, and didn't even have a running vehicle. But the little motorcycle, that thing broke down, and I ended up not having a vehicle for a while. But we would go up. We would drive when I'd meet a girl and she'd have a car, and so we'd drive up to the mountains, and up in the mountains of Arizona there's a ghost town called Jerome, and it was an abandoned ghost town. There were like 50 people living there, mostly artists and musicians, and I fell in love with the place. And years later, when I started making money, I just decided, you know what, it'd be really cool. They've got the oldest saloon in Arizona's up there. There's music every weekend. Lots of tourists now. There wasn't back then, but there's a lot of tourists today. And I bought a home there in 2001. And for 22 years, I've had a home in Jerome.
So you've been making money. You bought this in 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah.
So how did you come to Vegas and buy a place on the Strip, and also another one up in the Mount Charleston area,
So
which is beautiful?
I was living in Phoenix, and my accountant said, "How'd you like to have a free place in Vegas?" And I go, "That sounds good. Tell me more." He said, "Go to Vegas." He says, "Move one of your cars to Vegas. Find a condo on the Strip." This is what my accountant told me. Find a nice condo on the Strip that you like.
Wait. You had a CPA?
CPA.
So that means you're making money.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Continue with the story.
So I go to Vegas. I start shopping around. I find a place at the Waldorf. It was the Mandarin Oriental back then.
Right, I remember that.
But then the Waldorf took it over. So I found this place that I really liked, and he said that because at the time Arizona had a big state tax.
Right.
And Nevada didn't have a state tax.
That's why I moved here from California.
That's why you moved here.
They're
So
paying me
my tax savings paid for my lifestyle here.
Wait. So you saved so much on your taxes that you moved here and you paid for it.
Right. Paid for my condo.
That's right.
Paid for my car. I got my voter's registration here, and I was only planning on being here a couple days a month.
Right.
And I liked it so much that I ended up spending more time here.
So all this through network marketing, correct?
I do network
Every
marketing.
dime of it through network marketing. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand if they go out there and build a business. So then you got on the Strip, beautiful place on the Strip. I've been to your place. And then the place in Mount Charleston, like 45 minutes up the hill in the mountains where the snow's at.
Yeah, we got a foot of snow up there right now.
Tell me how that came about.
So that was, I decided that I wanted to have a place in the forest. And when I found out that there was a mountain,
In the forest.
when I found out there was a mountain 45 minutes from the Strip that had pine forest that was somewhat in the wilderness, even though it was only 45 minutes from Vegas, I drove up there and I'm like, wow. And I fell in love with it and decided I wanted to have a place there too. So I started shopping, and the home that I found had been for sale for 3 years. It was very high priced as compared to the other homes out there in terms of square footage. And, but I really, really wanted this home. So I ended up going back and forth with the guy and ended up getting it.
So you had the house up in Arizona in the mountains.
Yep.
Hanging off the cliff.
Yep.
And kind of ghostly. And decided to come to Nevada here. Bought right downtown. It's high rise. It's amazing. The Oriental. And then shopped our third home and up here at the Mount Charleston and
then
network marketing. Go ahead.
And then
go,
also
go.
my brand is Beach Money. So I wrote this book called Beach Money, and that's my brand. Everyone knows me as Beach Money.
Yeah.
Mr. Beach Money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to have some beach homes. The concept of leverage and residual income. And those are two concepts that I never heard of before and never been introduced to. When I read this book, I decided I wanted to get involved in this type of business. So I started joining different companies. Over the course of 10 years, I was involved in 11 companies, never signed up a single person. And then my 12th company in 1992, late 1992, was a company called Excel, and that's where I met Al. And I had a mentor in that company, but again, I'd never signed anybody up and I'd never made a penny. And I got invited, I had no money. The airline that I worked for at the time had just filed bankruptcy, and they cut my pay in half from $28,000 a year down to $14,000 a year. And I was using credit cards to pay my bills because I couldn't live on $14,000 a year. So I didn't have the money to go to this event in San Francisco, but this guy that I knew and his wife, they said they'd pay for my trip, they'd buy my airline tickets, and they put me up in the hotel because they really wanted me to go to this event. So I go there, I sit in the event, and Al was one of the speakers at the event. And who would have ever known that we would have ended up becoming lifelong friends? But Jay and Meg Smith, they paid for everything, and Al knew Jay and Meg very well. And then afterwards, we were at a dinner. We were sitting around a table. There were all the top earners in the company were there, including Al, and I was the only person there that really wasn't making money, anything in network marketing. And I got inspired by that group, and by talking to Al and listening to his stories, and Paul and Meg and Jay and different Russ and Mary Nolan were there, and I just from being around these really dynamic people, I got inspired, and I figured out, it hit me that if they can do it, I can do it. And so I went back, and over the next 13 years, I built an organization of 250,000 customers, 85,000 distributors, made millions of dollars with that company.
Yeah.
Now, you were there for almost 16 years.
16 years,
16
yeah.
years. I was there for 13 years, and then that company shut its doors because of a radical change in technology that made our products obsolete. And so about 4 months after that, I joined another company. I just had my 19th anniversary with my company since Excel.
That you're in now.
Yeah, that I'm involved in now.
Yeah, the number one distributor.
Number one, and I've got, in fact, it's interesting because there are more top leaders from Excel that have become top leaders in other companies because we had so many people in our company that were making money that learned the business from Kenny Trout and Steve Smith. So I joined another company, and I've been building that now for 19 years. And I've personally signed up about 650 people. And from those 650, it's grown to almost 1 million customers.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, in 5 countries.
So when we first met and you first got going, what would you tell new people out there that's looking at this video for the first time and saying, wow, these guys are at the pinnacle? Not, I've been to probably 2 network marketing companies, so have you. So what would you give advice to people out there listening, what they could do to improve their building their business?
The most important thing is that it's not a lottery. It's not like you sign up in a company and you're going to make money. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It has to do with the business that you build. It has to do with the people that you recruit. It has to do with the customer base and the amount of product that they're using. Every company has a different type of product, and some products throw off a nice some products create volume, which throws off a nice monthly residual, and then other products are like one-time sales.
Right.
So the first thing is you want to make sure you're involved in something where there's a consumable product, something that's getting used over and over and over again.
Right.
The second thing is you have to understand that it's not a lottery, so you're going to have to build something, and you can be the cause of the success of your company. So what most people do is if things go a little south, they throw in the towel and they leave, and they're looking for the next big deal.
Right.
Versus you be the one that makes the decision that you're going to be the cause of the success of that company, because like if you build it, that's going to produce revenue for you and for the company, and you're going to have a residual check.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how many years have you been totally involved in different network marketing companies, would you say?
Well, I got involved in 1981 for the first time. That's 43 years, but I didn't make my first penny until 1992.
Wow.
1993 is when I made my first.
A lot of people, like you said, you're unique, because the average person will go through 13 or 14 companies and
they'll
keep
go
going.
through 1 or 2 and then they'll quit and they'll never do it again.
Yeah.
They'll say those things don't work, or those things won't work for me.
Right.
And that's not the case. That's not true.
Right.
That's not the truth. That's just what you think.
So what would you contribute your success to?
My biggest thing would be when things get tough, instead of throwing in the towel, I work harder.
Work harder.
Most people don't do that. So I say to myself, if anybody's making money in this company, I'm going to make money.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because I'm gonna outwork everybody else.
So there's a nugget right there. He outworked everybody else. So outworking everybody. Keep going.
Yeah. So most people, they have a rough week. They take 3 months off. Maybe they come back and start working again. Maybe they don't. Me, if I have a rough week, the next week, even if I'm having a rough second week or a third week or a fourth week, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be setting up appointments. I'm going to be sharing my opportunity with people. I'm going to be signing people up, training them. Even you might sign up 5 people and you train them all, and then they don't do anything, and you're feeling really discouraged. And you go, this isn't going to work for me. I've signed up 10 people, nobody's doing anything. Well, that's not an indication of whether you can succeed or not. Because it's not about what you do; it's about finding the right people that want to do this. And you might have to sign up 20 people or 30 people over the course of a year or two to find 1 or 2 that are going to build big businesses. But that's all you need is 1 or 2 really strong leaders in your organization, and you're set free.
Yeah, I remember Kenny Trout always said that we need 1 strong person and 6 different legs, and you've done that
multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah.